I'll bet you know what happens when you put WD-40 on 50-year-old grease. Bad things happen. And that turned into a 3-hour rebuild of the starter mechanism. N1 BCG.
Well, if you have fuel, if you have spark, and if you have compression, those are the 3 things that you need. Well, fuel, spark, and compression, and air are the 4 things you need to start an engine. If you have all those things, then you should be able to start the engine. You said you cleaned the carburetor from top to bottom, rebuilt the whole thing, right? You said you had good compression. You said you put your finger. I remember you saying you put your finger over the spark plug hole before and turned the motor over and felt compression and so on and so forth. So in theory, as long as you're getting, I don't know if you pulled the spark plug to check to see if you got fuel on it and the carburetor is working correctly, it should start.
Well, there's one element that's important to mention in that fuel, air, spark, and compression mix, and that is just that, the mix. The air and the fuel mix is critically important. Too much of either, and you get what I've got. So there's a choke on there. There's the rich lean control, which basically just adjusts a valve, a needle valve in the carburetor. What I need to do is I'm going to spend some time with the. I don't have a manual for it, but there's a website that talks all about those engines. I'm going to pay particular attention on proper starting procedure. But oh my God, I should just soak my hand in hydrogen peroxide. No, I'm not inviting you to my pity party, but it's just like, wow, it's amazing. Have you? The biggest challenge today was trying to get the spring return, the return spring, whatever, back in the starter assembly in the head of the engine. It's like a clock spring, the concentric spring. Holy mackerel! It would be easier to herd cats. It's just like do you wind it on the hub or do you wind it from the outside in, and then how do you get the 2 halves back together again without the spring going slithering in all different directions? It was not easy. But I would say very educational.
Well, I know you're not. Sorry, trying to throw a pity party there, Clark. I know that's not in your realm. That's not in your bag of tricks. Yeah, I heard you guys on here last night. I was tired, man. I didn't get on. I ended up coming home, get off at 4, laid down on the couch. I'm gonna take a nap for a couple hours to get back up, like I do every Saturday, and get on. And I woke up at 6, like I normally do, sat down in the operating chair, and started to fall back asleep again. Ended up falling asleep out here. Then ended up going on the couch and laying on the couch and listening from afar. And then woke up at 11:30 and said, I think it's probably time to go to bed.
That's what Murphy does. He lays with me for a while and, does this radio thing. And then he goes and climbs into his bed. And then when it's time for me to go to bed, I show up. And then we do one more go out thing. And then, hey, it's time for bed again. Yeah, he spends a lot of time sleeping, lazy kid.
Sorry, God. I hate doing that right into the mic. Sorry. Yeah, well, I guess you could say I was like a dog yesterday. That's my dog's no. My dog, that's all he does is sleep. He'll come down here and I'll come stand in the doorway, the threshold to get into the shack, and just sit there and look at me. I'll be like, what, you want to go out or something? No, just standing there. and I'll literally turn around and walk away, and I'll go back upstairs and go lay in my bed and go to sleep. And I'll do the same thing a couple times, and every once in a while it's because he wants to go out, or I'll climb up on the back of the couch and lay on the back of the couch. But lately he's been outside most of the days. I have one of those, big corkscrews that you just throw into the ground and hook the dog chain up to. And just hook him that and leave the kitchen door open. I got a side door in my kitchen on my patio, and he just comes in and goes out as he pleases. W3MMR.
I'm completely settled in for... Look at all this grease. Perry, you have never seen so much grease on hands ever. This is disgusting. It's under my nails. So, yeah, I'm done with that thing. I'm regrouping. I'm gonna be back at it tomorrow morning and see what can be had with it. I got some more tricks up my sleeve. I am not going to be daunted by something that's 10 years older than I am. No way. So, that's the deal. So let's see who else is caught up in the nets here. 35, man. It's Sunday night. It's a 3-day weekend. This should be like prime time right now, 6:30. Coming up. So, who else is out there?
Well, I just got in here, Clark. KD2, AFV.
Clark, where's Brian at? Brian! Can't be far. I don't want to hear, you've never seen so much grease in your life. Ah!
It is totally disgusting.
I don't want to hear it, man. You should see... Well, see, after doing it for 20 years, you start to wear latex gloves. I wear latex gloves all day. Just because I'm tired of my hands getting so black and greasy. Literally, Clark, there will be times where you can't see my skin color. Like, it's literally completely black from halfway down my forearm to my tips of my fingers. Hi, Toby.
Well, hello there. And, Perry. Yeah, Brian knows. And I know, because living on a farm. You want to see grease? Try re-greasing a combine. Not only do you have to be a contortionist, but you got to be comfortable with getting grease all the way up to your armpit, along with mashed up hay and corn. And what the hell is that? I think something moved. Oh, it's a good time.
Yup, I know you know. I'm seeing posts on Facebook of people that are out and about, like at restaurants and stuff, in certain states. This is good to see, man. Not gonna be like that for us three anytime soon, but at least it's progress.
Well, a lot of the problem is where we live. We're in the Northeast. This is like, well, you're down there, you're near Philly. I'm close to New York City. I mean, I don't know if you can get into any more of a hot spot than that. The Northeast is the worst. You go out into the Midwest, yeah, it's fine out there. You can almost do whatever the hell you want, but, yeah, most of us out here, we're way too connected to the cities.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, I don't want to monopolize it. I guess I kind of just jumped in, and me and Clark were the only ones in here, and you're in here, Toby. Yep. Happy Sunday from W3MMR.
Hey, Perry.
Hello, George.
And good evening to all of you. Hi, Clark. Whoever else is in here. WB2HJK.
Good evening.
Good evening, George. Hell of a good signal over here into western New Jersey. KD2, AFV.
Thanks. That was nice of you. Propagation, of course. I come about this time knowing that propagation is going to help. I missed the name, though. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Name is Toby. Tango Oscar Bravo Yankee. And it is a rather nice Sunday evening. Got both doors of the shack open. Nice slow breeze coming through. Gonna enjoy every minute of it that I can before that heat of summer comes in, and I gotta turn on the air conditioner because it gets noisy. Unfortunately, the AC unit, until I get one of those mini split systems, it sits about 10 feet away from where I operate. Really nice because it blows cold air right on you, but it sure is noisy. But just for now, we are going to enjoy doors open, birds chirping, cows mooing. The nice ripe scent of a cow field just fills the shack with joy.
Needless to say, I think most of us are jealous. I, for one.
Well, the farm life is, it is nice because it lets you do what you want, but when there's work to be done, there's work to be done. And we already started cutting hay. So, that season's coming. That's always a lot of fun. The whole gotta make hay when the sun shines. You don't get a break. You know, if you got 2-3 days of good weather, you're throwing hay bales. No ifs, ands, or buts. Doesn't matter what you got going on. You got to get that stuff off the field and get it in the barn. Once it gets rained on, that's it. It's over. It's mulch after that. Well, one good thing is, out here in Jersey, we're out here, Hunterdon County. That's where there's a lot of horse farms. And that's, for some reason, all these horse people do not seem to be affected by a bad economy. Plus, a lot of them will put they'll put their horses' needs in front of their own. So, yeah, the price of hay never seems to fluctuate that much. It's quite nice. So, it's always kind of it's a lot of hard work in some of the hottest weather out there. But when winter comes along and you can start charging $8, $10, maybe even $12 a bale, that puts a smile on your face when you go to the bank.
Hey, Toby, I got a song recommendation for you.
Oh, what's that, Clark?
You ever heard of Judge Dredd?
The band or the song or the movie?
Oh, okay. Judge Dredd is a British singer. Look up Judge Dredd, D-R-E-A-D, and the song is called, now don't get crazy, it's a farm work song, but it's called Up With the Cock.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up right now. You perked my interest there, Clark. I'm gonna go look it up, see what's up with that. KD2 AFV.
Now, it's really just a song about this woman working on a farm, toiling away and doing a lot of the things you were just describing. Although, for some reason, the BBC refused to play it, but, you know, they're kind of uptight.
All those bloody wine cussing. All right, I found it on YouTube. I'm going to have a listen.
With headphones. No, it's not that bad. N1 BCG. All right, either no one feels like talking or they're all looking the song up.
No, I'm still here. I'm just staring at my phone. Wasn't paying attention, to be honest.
Well, I'm just busying myself, giving my hands a massage with isopropyl alcohol. Disgusting.
I'm actually reversing the parallel connections to a double crystal mic. From what I hear, I think it might increase the impedance. making it into serious. That is.
George, I will never question your knowledge of microphones.
Oh, God. Please do.
That's one thing I won't do.
Good evening.
Was that Kip?
Now it's Jim, Donut Hole University.
I'll be damned. You know, last time I heard you, of course, I keep saying this legally, but I mean it. When you were on that other rig, I forgot, the Harvey Wells, I think. He's 100 miles away. Boy, I can invite you in here for a cup of coffee. I don't even have to. I think you're in here already.
I think I was talking to you last night, George. Actually, you were strapping in last night. And then your signal just kind of went away.
Good evening, GMW3MMR.
Good evening, Barry. Good evening, Clark.
Jim, what kind of microphone are you using?
Now it's a Electro Voice RE320. I think it's a 320.
Oh, wow. And the rig of choice?
Oh, I'm in the camper. Yaesu 101. About 100 watts carrier through an SDP 1000L amplifier, which wasn't made too far from you. It was made in Amityville, New York.
Nice work, Jim. Nice work. Sounds nice. Pleasure. You still have the Harvey, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I was on that the other night. Yeah, I got that set up in the house. Actually, I've been using that quite a bit lately. The other one that doesn't use the line level input, the TBS 50, when you plug a D104, and I do have that in the trailer, which I was going to probably sell at a Hamfest, which aren't a Hamfest this year. I got a whole bunch of stuff in there, but I got the Harvey in there, the power supply for it, and a VF1 VFO. And I think I even have a Harvey Wells antenna tuner. I forget what the hell number it is, but you know, it would all kind of go together. You just have to make up a power supply for the VF1. Of course, the Harvey doesn't have enough power to run the VFO. It will run it, but it just kind of drifts when you key the mic. So I'd make up a little power supply like I did for the other one inside, and yeah, you just put a receiver to it. But yeah, I only need one, and I figured I'd keep this one because this one's modified for 160, and that's the only place I really use it on is 80 and 160.
Nice work. Sounds great. It did sound great. I mean, your presence right now. Audio presence? Phenomenal. And you're right about that vehicle. I've heard that. Heard that from I don't know. But anyway, sounds good. And I'm glad you still have all of that. Yeah, what a pleasure to hear your excellent voice. KC2DA2 and Delightful Company, WB2HGG.
Well, where's the Delightful Company?
That's what I was wondering.
This is really double M.
Move. That's SMOOVE operator.
Just passing a little politeness to the 80-meter threshold of RF entity.
I never felt so welcome on amateur radio as I do here.
I have to agree with you on that, George. I've never felt so welcome on amateur radio, on AM in general. Let's put it that way.
try to find some wire here to extend the 2 elements here on the series. And I'll be busy soldering my fingers. That's my input for the moment.
Well, at least if you solder your fingers, you can get them apart. Crazy bone's a different story. You usually lose a piece of skin from one finger or the other.
So who's ready for Memorial Day weekend? Anybody got any plans? I know that I'm not doing nothing.
Well, tomorrow I'm playing electrician. I know that. I actually don't hate doing that. It's when I have to actually do plumbing work on the weekend, because that's what I do all week long. Pulling electrical wire almost seems like fun. KD2 AFV.
Please don't mention pulling anything.
Yeah, no, Clark hasn't been having any luck with pulling things this weekend. Well, that's cool, Toby. I have to mow the lawn tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but I ended up doing a bunch of stuff around the house today instead, so I put the lawn off till tomorrow. Then back to work on Tuesday.
Gad, you've got a woodpecker, Brian.
I have a what?
Now you sound like you're on a PA making an announcement with reverb.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in high school telling somebody to come down to the office.
Will Mr. Perry please come to the principal's office? Perry, please come to the principal's office now.
All I had to do is change that to Clark, and it would have brought back some jarring memories.
That makes 2 of us.
Oh, I didn't use Clark because I figured Clark was already in the principal's office.
I had it. Are you kidding? I was there so often I'd get my mail there.
Dude, that's fucking... Oh my god, that's funny.
Wow-wee! Woo-hoo. That was quite a message.
That was close. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. What is it among friends?
I was like FUC and a half.
I know what it was. It was all that reverb brought back the old Channel 19 memories, huh, Perry?
That's right, man. I always thought I was somewhere else. Sorry, guys.
Oh, the Echo mic. What was that thing? An Echo Max or an Echo blah blah or something like that? Oh, yeah.
Well, they had a bunch of them, actually. The Echo Max was probably the most famous one. The Static Echo Max. Same company that made the D104. Which are actually pretty sought after microphones. Go from anywhere from $100 to $200 nowadays. Then they had the Diesel Echo mic. And there's a couple other off-brand Echo mics. But yeah, Echo mics were the thing, man.
Don't forget to mention the, what is it, the RF Extreme 2018.
Oh, man, what a mic there. Ceramic Element, too. Whew.
You know, Perry, I actually own one of those. And the funny thing is, if you take that mic and you just set your settings to where you almost can't even hear that there's any reverb there, like you really got to have a good ear for it, it's actually a very good microphone.
Oh, no. That and the CR577 hand mic. It was the same exact circuit that was on the 576 static, the ceramic element and everything. It's a great sounding microphone, and the tone control and the volume control, tone and gain control on it. And they only made it, they didn't make it for long at all, but it's the same exact ceramic element and same circuit that's in the static, that $300 static hand microphone. I think it's the 576 or whatever it is, the one that people want ridiculous amounts of money for that you see on eBay all the time.
The wonderful world of 11 meter.
Never heard of the Diesel mic. That must have been a hot seller with the Yeah, unless you were driving a gas job, then you were just like a piss weaker. Unless you were just cheating and had a diesel money because you were driving a gas job.
You're just, scratch it out, cross it out and put gas. Gasol Echo Mike.
There you go. The gas mic. That could go the wrong way, too.
Yeah, I think we all are equipped with one of those. I know Clark is.
What do I have? I had to step out for a moment.
You have a built-in gas microphone.
Oh, hell yeah. It's disconnected. We're going to pot it up and talk off mic. But I have one, yes. Now there's no audio, Brian. But I heard you say, is that better? It's too low.
Alright, did that bring the audio back or not?
Getting better.
It should be fine now, no? That's all screwed up, isn't it?
It may be fine. It may just be conditions. I don't know. How does he sound to everyone else? Okay, fine. Well, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Sounds good here, Brian.
Yeah, you got a strong signal here, Jim. No highs. Yeah.
So, what are you doing?
Getting frustrated. But, I don't know. Did you get your motor started?
Oh, you want to compare frustration? Come on, man. Let's go at it.
How many blisters do you have?
My whole right hand is filled with blisters from tugging it all afternoon.
Uh-oh. All right.
I have never had to pull on anything so hard and with no result. It's frustrating.
I would just wait till a better day, then pull.
I'm trying to get a 1954 Elgin outboard engine to run for the first time in decades. Telling you, pull, yank, nothing. Frustrating.
Oh, shit. I still have an Elgin outboard. You got spark, first of all?
I don't feel like going into it. Yes, I got spark, I got fuel, I got cuts, and I got bruises. I was gonna send out invitations to my pity party, but I hate those so much, so I won't. If I were a typical ham radio operator, I would tell the story from beginning to end for each new person who shows up on frequency about how downbeaten I am because of this outboard engine and this and that, and how everything hurts. But that's for other amateurs.
Well, I can understand how frustrating it is, but one thing I can tell you to check, and it's bitten quite a few other people in the butt before. Check the key on the flywheel. If it's not a belt-driven magneto, it's like I'm thinking the older Elgins, up to the 20 horsepowers or something like that. If that thing snaps the flywheel key, the timing's going to be out of whack. That thing won't start. Sometimes it'll kick back, snort, fart, backfire, do anything but start.
Well, it did sound like it ran for about a second. Like I remember one time I pulled the rope out and the flywheel spun around a lot longer than it normally did, so I figured it was doing something. So I think the timing's okay. It's just, you know what it is? I don't believe that I've got the the low-speed idle needle set right. I got to check that, and I need to double check on the choke lever because I don't know. I think I know, but I'm not positive which position the choke needs to be in. I know there's the choke lever, but I don't know which position it needs to be in for choke. You know, and I can't see inside the carburetor to tell for myself. So there's a few things that need to be researched. But I've got some information on my computer, which I will delve into tomorrow. But that's the update. I am determined to be successful over this engine. And and by the way, this was saved from imminent destruction at a scrap metal yard. So, you know, it owes me.
Just need a couple cans of ether.
That's next.
Yeah, I would have started with that first of all. See if it fired. There used to be a place in Tonawanda, New York called Lane's Outboards. And believe it or not, he's got Elgin parts. The first Elgin I had many years ago, before the internet was prevalent, I was looking for a water pump impeller for the darn thing. And I called every marina around, and I got laughed at. So I got out the old 800 phone book directory and called every marina boat dealer from pretty much from here to California and got laughed at. Chunked the Elgin. You know, about 10, 15 years later, somebody gave me this Elgin 18. And I looked at it, I just immediately scowled. I said, "You gotta be kidding me, another Elgin. It looks nice and clean." And, you know, with the marvels of the internet, I became friendly with this guy at Lane's Outboard. And, yeah, I got joints for the darn thing, water pump impeller, this, that, the other thing. Put it together, dumped it in a garbage pail full of water. And like I said, you know, pulled that thing where I was ready to throw up, and then it started. And once it cleaned itself out and puked out all the nasty stuff that was in the engine block, it turned out to be a damn good run engine. Ran all over the place till one time when I was farting around by Iona Island and going through the lagoons over there, and I snapped a shear pin on the propeller. So I was rowing back, you know. That's a big Grumman rowboat. And that's when the damn, one of them boats used to come up from New York City and dock over there at Bear Mountain and let people up. I don't know, it wasn't a Dayliner, it was something else. This was years ago, and I'm rowing past this thing, and there's this crusty old guy, apparently like the captain of the boat or something, that's sitting on the bow of this thing with his lawn chair while the people were out going to Bear Mountain to get dinner or drinks or whatever. And he just kind of leans over the edge of the thing and says, "Hey, son, is that a Sears and Roebuck engine?" I think I started throwing like empty bottles at him or something like that. But, Sears used to sell shit motors. KC2D. Sorry for the ramping. You got me on a dare there.
Wow. I guess if I got that kind of salutation from Captain Salty, I'd be back later that night with a scuba outfit and a hand drill. But, you know, I'm just saying.
Well.
In other news, N1 BCG, good evening.
Oops, W3 MMR with a very, very low noise level.
KD2 AFV about to get an adult beverage.
Yeah, propagation sounds great.
Yeah, you're like 20 over, George.
Whoa, carrier. Go ahead, Perry.
30 over.
Yeah, it's a moment. Just like you said, it's propagation. It's amazing.
And you so loud and clear I can even hear what's going on in the background, George. That's a first.
I better lower the gain.
No, 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 no. Don't do that. If you do anything, turn it up. Don't ever lower any of your gains.
Done.
You're not allowed to. You don't talk loud enough.
And ain't that the truth? You're right.
Just being honest, George. We love you. It's all in love, man. It's all about helping each other out here on Amplitude. Yay, modulation. W3, 350 watts of carrier, MMR.
When I'm on the approach,
I forgot. He's going to the fridge.
Toby went to one of his many homemade beer kegs.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go visit the Anheuser-Busch keg in a couple of minutes here myself.
Ooh. I was even thinking about having a beer this weekend for Memorial Day weekend, man. I was really thinking about it, but I don't know. Here we are, no drink.
Smoke a fat one instead.
Oh well, that goes without being said, Jim. That's literally probably the next thing I was gonna do.
Just thinking about it myself. I'm looking at a good one here. When my stepdaughter, her niece was up yesterday. They spent over, and her boyfriend, nice guy. He's a stoner, and Deb comes out to me. She goes, "They're not kids anymore. They're during their 20s." She says, "Okay, if Corey smokes in the house." I said, "Well, sure, I'm out here, but one thing, it's got to leave me a joint." So he comes out and brings me a joint. I was only kidding, but I'm kind of glad I have it.
Amen to that, man. I don't know. It's a new alcohol to me. This stuff is the greatest stuff on earth. It really is. Health-wise, medicinal-wise, you know, nothing wrong with it. Just preparing something as we speak.
You know, funny. I read something on the internet about a quote-unquote new discovery from the Bible, where two words were mistakenly translated all these decades. And there were two words that were, according to this write-up, of course, were misinterpreted. And guess what?
What?
I'm going to say it, but it's going to sound unbelievable. It's entertainment, of course, for those listening. They're both combined to translate into cannabis.
Well, that's not surprising.
Yeah, to me it was.
Nah, man. I mean, I've been through a lot in my life. I've been on a lot of different medications for, mental health stuff. And, I'm not afraid to admit it. You guys know I'm an open book. Everybody should know that by now. Anybody that's at least talked to me a few times knows that I'm an open book, and I'm not afraid of my past. Not ashamed of it. I'm actually very proud of it. And, battling addiction and mental health issues and countless amounts of pills and, different mental health meds. And, I was on 6 or 7 at a time every morning. And now, just, use a little plant that's from the earth, medicinally, and I don't take any prescriptions at all. I take one prescription, but besides, I don't take any other prescription. This is the only one. Well, I guess if you include this, that would be 2 prescriptions. W3 MMR.
And it saves you a fortune, too, because you can grow the stuff at home. I used to do it years ago. And, my grandmothers were actually in the orchard one day. This was back when I was living in the bus. This is a long time ago. And I the plants hidden in the weeds, poison ivy, everything else back there. And they're walking along and they're picking apples from the trees and look at the flowers. And all of a sudden, my grandmother says, like, I'm sitting outside the bus. She says, "Ooh, what a beautiful cannabis plant." And I'm like, "Oh." She's like, "Oh no." She said, "That's good stuff." She said, "This is my grandmother talking. You know, this is like 1985, 86. She goes, "Oh no." She goes, "It's just like alcohol. It's fine." I'm like, "Phew, dodged a bullet on that one."
I mean, everybody that I know has a medicinal card, including very close family members. And other people. I know people in here who have their medicinal card. Probably 90% of my friends have their medicinal card. In Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. I mean, it was taboo, even up to 10 years ago, but not anymore, man. I mean, people praise you for smoking pot as opposed to drinking anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean, actually, they opened up a dispensary up the road from my shop. Probably about a year ago. And sometimes you drive by that place, and the parking lot's packed. There's a lot of people in there. They all got medicinal cards for it. And it's. I guess the federal level hasn't really caught up with the state level. It'll probably be pretty much legal in all 50 states sooner or later because they're losing a lot on a hell of a lot of tax revenue.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, billions and billions of dollars. But the government will follow suit soon enough. Everybody knew that the government was going to be last. But I say give it 10 years, and it'll be legal at the federal level. Get a Democrat in office, and I think it'll be legal. So I don't know if a Democrat's going to get it this time, but maybe in about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me, I'm going to go inside and get my cheap date beverage, the Budweiser Light. KC2DHU.
And I don't have a card, but you guys are making me think twice.
Well, it's real easy to. I mean, George, if you have any kind of, relatively serious health or mental health thing, you can get it. It's not even, I don't know if you would, I don't want to say serious because I don't want to say one thing is more serious than the other. That's not what I mean. But, just go online and look up what, they give it out for in your state, in New York. And I think New York is even going to be recreational soon if it hasn't already. I don't know. But here they give it out for, the number one thing they give it out in Pennsylvania for is opioid dependency disorder. If you've ever had an addiction problem to opiates or painkillers, heroin, anything like that, they give it out to you pretty much as your shoo-in if you're addicted to opiates at one point. Then, PTSD, glaucoma, depression, anxiety. I mean, there's a list of 15 different things here in PA. Same with New Jersey.
I'll check it out. Thanks, Terry.
Yep. No problem. Tell me 3 of them are taking a standby to medicate.
Well, propagation is good. I'm going to plug in the other mic I just rewired. And give me an honest report, somebody.
Although now when Perry says medicate, it means ice cream binge.
Hey, Clark, I let Mr. Softy drive by earlier when I first got on, okay? Because I didn't want to get up and walk away and say you wouldn't get acknowledged. I sacrificed it. Mr. Softy sacrificed Mr. Softy to say hi to you, Clark, and acknowledge you.
Oh, my God. Well, I'm unworthy of that.
No, I really did. I didn't want to eat it anyway because I've been trying to eat better. You know, I've been like counting calories and stuff. So that had a little bit to do with it, but 50% probably had to do with I didn't want you to like unkey and nobody be there.
That's like you passed up a date with a Playboy model. That's just amazing. All right, Perry, you scored epic points with that, because I know Mr. Softy. I know I could never compete. I gotta try to think ahead before I say this. Now I'll just say it. I could never compete with Mr. Softy for you. So that's truly remarkable.
Yeah, that's one of those things. You gotta be careful the way you word that sentence. So Clark, feel special, man. Feel honored because I sacrificed my Mr. Softy, my two. I was thinking about getting 2 chocolate sprinkle cones. Okay, we call them Jimmies here. We don't call sprinkles. We call them Jimmies. Chocolate cone with Jimmies, chocolate Jimmies. And I was even thinking about getting extra Jimmies. For an extra $1, you can get a whole cup of Jimmies. So, no Jimmies for me because Clark needed acknowledgement. W3MMR.
People thinking about getting into ham radio or tuning Bob's frequency going, well, that would have been a mistake.
I know, right?
It could go the other way as well. KC2DHU, back with a fresh one.
George, what did you do? I can hear you and your signal's way down. Anybody else?
Better.
Yeah, it's a little better.
George, I'm hearing you. It was the D104 you just said, right?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Did you just change mics or is this the one you're just on?
Garden Variety D104. What did you do?
I accidentally left the mic gain higher for the twin crystal. Sorry about that. I'll bring it down to where I had it before. The D104. Better?
You know, I think what we should do is set up a GoFundMe page for you, George. Get you some kind of a voice processor, and you can hook that up to your rig, and then you can sit there and connect any microphone, as many as you want, and it'll always make the levels right. Can you imagine how amazing that would be?
Okay, yeah, it would be. I think maybe my next mic. And I bet one of those digital things I find on eBay might do. From what I hear, they won't do for a modulation monitor scope. It was a sad note I found out. Anyway, that's what I truly need.
George, what radio are you using?
765 Icon.
Okay, just wondering. Oh, it sounds better now, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's all I really had to say. That sounds better now, so. I just wonder what happened before. Now I know. Yeah, maybe we can start a GoFundMe to get you a voice processor.
No, not a voice processor. A monitor scope, I think, no?
Well, we can get you a monitor scope, too. There's a bunch of those out there. You'll find an old Heathkit or something.
Ooh, no. That's the problem. I have no room here. I got a desk, everything's on it. I need one of those digital things that I see on eBay from China. It's heavy. That's what I'm going to pay. I'm not functioning well enough, but they are. So I thought I could maybe get away with one of those on the desk here. I love it. But now I'm looking at it. Anyway, the other mic was all right. Yeah, this does not have a processor. The other one, crystal mic.
I gotta run down the hall, guys. I'll be right back.
get a, excuse me, oh, damn it, a Joe Meek equalizer. That's what I use for a dummy like me. I don't have to play with a whole bunch of different things. It's got a preamp and an equalizer and an optical compressor in it. And it's all just one little box and just a few little dials. You don't have to set a whole bunch of things. And when you get it sounding right, you just take a bunch of dum-dum and you put it on top of the knob so you don't fiddle with it. Well, George, you're not torturing anybody. That's what we're all here for, helping each other out. And I know that if I listen to myself in like a monitor, you know, a dummy load, or even on another receiver, I hate the sound of my voice. So I can't be I can sit there and fiddle with those knobs all day long and never make myself happy because I guess, I don't know, if I play myself into a tape recorder and listen to myself back, I said, who the hell wants to listen to this guy? You know, so I have to rely on other people to tell me whether I sound good or not, because I just, you know, when you're listening to your own voice, sometimes it just, I don't know, for me it just doesn't work. Let's put it that way. I could get rid of all those stupid noises, maybe, or the buzzing and humming and bad audio and ground loops and stuff. That I can hear, but if I listen to my own voice at a monitor or something like that, I'm like, sounds like crap. You know, like me, I can look at it on the mod monitor or on the damn oscilloscope and say, yeah, it looks okay. But I can sound like crap and it will still look okay. That means my audio is getting out kind of clear and stuff like that. But whether I actually sound good or not, that's another story.
Well, propagation permitting, I'll give it over to you, Clark.
Guess everybody's got their head in the refrigerator.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was our project for a few minutes while I was on the air. Nothing else to matter here. But interesting conversation about cannabis and stuff, especially the thing I found on the internet. Imagine that.
Yeah, let me just back this thing down a little bit. Hang on. Okay, yeah, let's turn my power down. This thing warms up. It seems to put out a little bit more power. And I don't want to overdrive this stupid thing. Well, yeah, if you look on the internet, you can find all kinds of stuff. There's really good information. There's really bad information on the internet. But I'll tell you what, the internet's a great thing. Years ago, having to go through libraries and looking through books and articles and stuff like that, and making phone calls. I mean, you can get that information, especially talking about these stupid radios and stuff like that. And the tube gear, there's so much information out there. I mean, you spend 3/4 of your time, between going through libraries and articles and stuff like that. But now that the internet's there, we kind of got it made compared to the old cats that really knew what they were doing back in the day before there was an internet.
I know. We all remember, especially in our age, when we had to travel, at least in New York, subway system to go to the public library on Fifth Avenue and to look up physical facts. Nothing online, of course. And that was a trip and a half, literally. So often to be done. What a pleasure the internet is, really. And I've been exploring Pinterest. Contributions made by many. Not to mention those on YouTube, too. Phenomenal entertainment. Very impressive accomplishments by many people.
Yeah, just phenomenal entertainment. Ugh, damn it. Damn it, talk to death. Years ago, I had a customer. He's since passed, but he was a farmer and really smart guy, and really stuck in his ways. He didn't even have a touch-tone phone in his house, until the phone didn't work anymore. He always had a rotary dial phone until the phone company just didn't, it didn't do pulses anymore. So, his kids used to talk to him about the computers and the internet and stuff like that. Nope, I have nothing to do with that. And he was looking for something on a Gravely tractor one day, and he's searching all over the place. He's going to libraries. He's reading articles. He, buying the Gravely magazine from the magazine store and going back to the library. He's looking for a certain thing, and he couldn't find it. So his daughter goes to the library, Googles it, prints out the information, and brings it home to him one day. And the old man says, "Where did you get that?" And she says, "I went to the library and got on the internet." Well, I'll be goddamned if he didn't get in his car, grab his wife, run to Best Buy, and spend carte blanche on the biggest, baddest computer that household had ever seen. And that's what... It took one thing to change his mind. And when he couldn't find a certain piece of information anywhere, and his daughter just brought it home one day, printed it out, and gave it to him. It was like magic. Where did you get that? And she says, the internet. And that was it. He was sold.
Not only one thing can trigger something like that, but also depends on who brings it to you. It plays a large role in my experience, as I'm sure to others too.
Oh yeah, his daughter, and his son were in high school at the time, and we need a computer. We need a computer. We need a computer. Nope, we don't need computers. We need a computer. We need a computer. Nope, no computers in this house. Very old.
Why the class?
But he was a really nice guy, but he was stuck in here.
I was even thinking about getting extra Jimmys. For an extra $1, you can get a whole cup of Jimmys.
It's as simple as that. When his
No
daughter
Jimmys for me
brought home
because
her
Clark
that just
needed acknowledgement.
opened the
W3
door,
MMR.
Floodgate. And it just, he couldn't get to Best Buy break out his wallet and pay cash, no matter what it costs. Sell me all the crap that goes with this thing. I need one now.
Oh, that's a bunch of hooey.
I'm sure. You know what's funny? I know people like that, even in my family. Anyway, propagation's still holding up, isn't it, Jim?
You're still coming out. You're still coming through. Yeah, your signal's coming up the river somehow or another. Seems like one tug went up the river. There's another boat coming down, so I guess signals are still flowing.
The other thing I was watching on the internet was everybody breaking out the kites and drones to put up their antennas now. Boy, the drones really making an impact on a lot of antenna installations.
I used to like flying a kite when I was a little kid. You know, the whole innocent thing, tie the key to the end of it and, stay in a lightning storm. Of course, I never did that. My parents would, my mother would have never let me do that when I was a little kid. But, I see some of this drone footage that people shoot, and there was a fella up here about a year and a half ago, and he wanted to know if he could park, stand up on the front yard here and take drone footage of a boat that was unloading by Lafarge across the river. He was actually, doing something for the company that owns this boat. They took pictures of this thing all by the Statue of Liberty or something like that. Probably some sort of a campaign or whatever. They bring gypsum across the river, so that's what I know they have in that boat. They do one with gypsum and they make sheetrock out of it. I said, sure. And I was fascinated by this drone. And, he's got an iPad or something, he sticks it on the controller. And he's videotaping it and watching this thing on his iPhone or Android or whatever the hell he had. And, he's across the river, going around this boat. And he said, the people on the boat know he's there so they can do this. He's got permission and all that stuff. So it's like, well, what if the battery goes down in the middle of the river and this thing just dumps on you? That thing's expensive. He said, that really can't happen. If the battery starts going low, no matter what I'm doing with it, that thing will always fly back to its controller, or it's supposed to anyhow. And, I even seen some of these cheap drones around. They're really cool. One day, that's something I would really like to fool with as a drone. I'll just do it over a friggin' bed mattress or something. I'd probably crash the hell out of it at first, but they just look really cool.
I'm back.
Howdy.
Yep.
Go ahead, pick it up.
I'm trying. Alright, anyway. Oh, band's in pretty decent shape still. Yay. About 330 watts. Give or take. That's, alright, back that down. Alright. Who's all on here? George, I hear, Jim, Clark, anyone else? Well, I guess that answered my question. So, anybody have any big Memorial Day plans, barbecues, family gatherings, social distance gatherings, anything like that for this special week? And I might go to my dad's. I might go use his. He got a new grill. He doesn't know it yet, but he's gonna make me a burger on his new grill this weekend. He's probably listening, so he's probably finding out right now.
Yes, my big plan for tomorrow is a rescheduled bar fight.
What?
Yeah, you know, like, they're so spontaneous, but if they don't work out the way you want, you like, you know, say, let's have a rematch.
Okay. Like, when you guys like, all right, well, look, when we each get to 6 beers, it's time to throw down. Is that the requirement? Like, is that how you get back into it?
No, you rethink your strategy and think of all the things you should have done, like, you know, picking up a stool and using that as a weapon. So, yeah, so you just organize a rematch.
Speaking of rethinking my strategy, the other one was spoken. May I say my thanks to all of you for a beautiful time tonight on AM? Thanks for the company. WB2HJK 73.
You know, George, you remind me of that guy who, unfortunately, is a silent key, but he used to hold court on the Long Island Repeater, Limark, I guess, every Sunday night, and he was the host of the TechNet. Don't know if you ever heard it, but there's a lot in how you sound that remind me of him.
More to come. 73 all. And my thanks again for all of you. Keeping a great company here on AM. Mother Nature and all. Great time. Clark? Always thank you.
And by the way, George, it's not the silent key part that makes me hear the same in both of you.
I realize that. Respectfully, love you. Bye.
7-3, George. Great hearing you as always. KC2DH2. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, see you, George. W3 MMR.
Is this thing sounding any better now?
So far.
Alright. Huh. Well, work in progress.
I wouldn't worry about it.